we're learning Siman Lamed Ches. And Siman Lamed Ches is the dinim of Pas Goyim and Bishul Goyim. So till now we learned about Pas Goyim, or about Pas Palta. That we learned till now. Now we're going to go into the Bishul Goyim. But I just want to... Bishul Goyim is more chomer than Pas Goyim. And there are certain dinim that apply by Pas Palta and don't apply by Bishul Akum. For example, there's a din here in Shulchan Aruch in Yeridei in Siman Kuf Yud Gimel. We learned by Pas Palta, if he throws in a little piece of wood, it's already no longer a Pas Palta. But again, to Bishul, there's a machlokes between the Mechaber, that's the Beis Yosef, and the Ramah. The Beis Yosef holds that Ein Shegiras Hatana Me'elis Ela B'Pas. Shegira means starting of the fire. Avu B'Shar HaMizbashim, but by other things, by other cooking, Ein Shegiras Hatana V'lei Hadrokas Ha'esh. Mailu U'Morid, just making the fire, that doesn't help. Ela Hanocha Dafka. You have to putting it into the pot, or putting the pot on the fire. L'fichach hareitz levashel b'machmas betana shel evdik achavim tzarach sheyiten yisrael hamachmas l'teich hatana l'mokum haroi l'zbashel. Has to put it in and position it. That's what the Mechaber says. Comes along the Ramah, and the Ramah says, v'yesh chokim. There are some that disagree. And usvira l'hu, and they hold the adrokas ha'esh achitu begacholim mahani l'inyan bishul k'moylu inyan pas. And it said v'chein noig as if it was a. He says even a bigger chiddush. He says over here. Well, b'yesh shaimim dafilu leichita Yisrael. The Jew did not, chita means like stirring up the fire. V'lehishul shom kisim, and he didn't throw in a kisim, a splinter of wood. Rak sha'evik achavim. Listen to this. Hidlik ha'esh me'esh shal Yisrael is also shori. In other words, that means like I noticed this week by a bris. The caterer, of course, was a Shem Shabbos, but they have the things that they make, the eggs and everything. So they have a sternal on it. A sternal is a can, like with some type of gas, some type of that burns, and they put it under the pan, and then or on a burner. And then later they put a frying pan on it. They pour egg in it. So I noticed that he went with he came to a yid. One of the workers, the guy says, knows that he's not supposed to put on the light. So he went to a yid, and he gave the yid a lighter, that the yid should light a match for him. And he went with the match back over there, and he turned on the gas. So that's this case they took over here. That if he took Eish Me'esh Yisrael, not that he turned on the gas in the stove, but he took Eish Me'esh to turn on the gas. That's not the gas. According to the Ramah, the Beis Yosef is very bashmachal, doesn't accept it. And that's a very important thing in Moshe. There are certain people that when they go to restaurants, they ask, is the goyim working here? And they want to know because they're Sfardim. And the Sfardim paskin according to the Beis Yosef. So they hold that, we have a pilot in the oven. There, the pilot is not enough. You have to mamish Like we learned over here also. I was medayik yesterday. It says hishach eitz. He threw a log of wood. But we are making. We rely on this and more. So let's.
The sterno. What if it's just keeping the food warm? No.
Huh?
Usually when there's sternos, it's just keeping.
Okay,
the food warm.
over there was ready-made food, but I gave example of the sterno. But Moshe, when they make eggs. They come with a whole bottle of liquid egg, and they pour it on, and they cook it on that little burner over there.
Even if it's warm, they told the mashgichim to light it also, because the goyim needs to know that we light it. If they start lighting.
Okay, so now over here he says as follows: Davar she'enei nechel k'moshu chai, something that cannot be eaten raw. You have to cook it. V'gam oila al shulchan malachim. It also it's served on festive tables. In other words, when there's like a banquet or something, they serve this type of food. Halochos of Pas Akum. Halochos of Pas Akum means it's like a side dish to the bread. You know. Oy Paris. Well, Paris is also like it's a similar. Either they eat it with the bread or it's like a side dish. Shabishloi Eitzoloi Goy, that a Goy cooked it or fried it. Afilu b'kli Yisrael, even if he did it in a Jew's kalim. Over base Yisrael, in the Jew's house. But there's sometimes people that they're making a party, so they bring in a cook to their house, that the cook cooks in the house. So what you have to do in such a case is you have to put on the fire. But if he didn't do the fire, is also mishum bishul goyim. It'll be also as bishul goyim, even though it wasn't a Jewish house and in the Jewish pots. But the guy put on the fire and the yid has nothing to do with it, that's not good. But something that's eaten raw, and it's not served on a special festive meal. So there's no din of bishul goyim. And he says, all this, what are we playing shaylas if the guy, in what did he cook at the guy? He cooked it in his keli, right? So if he cooks in his keli, betach is treif. His keli is treif. So what's the whole shayla? He says the kelim is not a concern because the stam kelim ain't been a yemen. Stam keli is not from the same day. The melu bal is not from the same day. So the belia that's in the keli is already pogum, and the melu doesn't affect the food that's being cooked. But even though the food is not affected by the belia that's in the kelim, but the cooking was done by a guy, that is a din of bishul. So that the sach shaylas, Ramashal, some people ask a shayla. I saw these shaylas brought down. How do you make sugar? Sugar is made by cooking. So why isn't sugar bishul akum? Or other thing, Mashal, we eat, let's say, breakfast cereals. Why isn't the breakfast cereals, okay, there is available today the same brand, or similar brand, with a Fruma company, with a Fruma Hechsher. But not everyone everyone's eating Cheerios, from Cheerios. Are you talking? So there are a number of tatum or things that are taken into consideration. One thing that's taken into consideration is that it's eina oil shochem malachim. You don't serve cereal things by a banquet. So maybe Baal on oil or shochem malacha. So you don't have to, if it costs more, the hechsher with the other one, you don't have to buy that one. You could buy the hechsher is cheaper. Oh, well, okay. I'm saying, but you don't have to buy. You could buy the regular brand. There's another thing that they say in Bishul Akum. There's a din over here. It says as follows: if something was like salted and made, so say we have a kal that meluach is kireseach. That's, but something that's salted is like it's cooked. So he says over here that meluach eine kireseach b'gzeira zu v'ma'ushan eine kim mevushel. Mushim is something that's made by smoked. Like Moshe would say, raks. How do they make raks? They have like a smokehouse where they put in the sides of the fish, and it gets smoked in there, and that's how they make raks. So Moshe is saying that there's no din of bishul akum, even though it was cooked. The whole din of bishul akum is only by mevushel agabi eish. It was baked on fire. So they say that the same thing also, if it was cooked by steam, not by fire, so then it does have the din of bishul akum. And many products that you buy, let's say in the cans, is cooked by steam, not by fire. And sugar is also made by steam, not by fire. So therefore it's not a din of bishul akum. What?
Steam.
Steam is not bishul akum.
Not fish?
No, it's not fire.
Alle kennst du machen doch.
All the cans is made with steam.
The steam comes from fire.
Huh?
The steam comes from fire.
If it comes from fire, then there'll be a din of bishul
How do you steam
akum. No,
without
but
fire?
the steam comes from fire. But the steam itself is not fire. The cooking is not... The fire heats up the steam.
The steam doesn't come directly from the fire?
No,
Where does the steam come from? Water.
from water.
So the fire heats up the water.
So they say that things that are steam...
Steam, the pretzels, the baking by steam doesn't need the pasisron.
Huh? I just read you the din that it's only bishul and not of steamed.
The pretzels are running by steam. They need the pasisron.
The what?
Pretzels. Little pretzels, most of them running by steam. It's not baking and not.
Chayre not.
How it doesn't need pasisron?
No.
It's in a regular oil pretzels. It's good now. Yes, most of them.
Yeah, you have to know if it's kosher chayre, it's good. If it's made by steam, not fire.
Not baking.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not manufacture?
There is also a shaila that they discuss about drinking a coffee.
It's coffee.
Could you coffee? First of all, the coffee bean.
It's cooked.
Also, when you get the sugar, they say it has to be the lapis bais pas. Lapis bais pas means it's like a dip for the bread, but people don't dip bread into sugar.
It's not
So it's not the Halochos of Malacha for the lapis bais pas. And when you get into coffee, there is a lot of talk about it, and some are machma that they don't drink coffee like in let's say in a Starbucks, and there's also a shaila with coffee, the keli. So if you do go into Starbucks and you do want to drink a coffee, you have to ask it should be in a paper cup, not in one of the cups that they give you. And I always tell people that when they go on the plane, a lot of people go on the plane and they take with them, let's say, there's this type of soup that they have in a cup.
Tradition soup.
That's the name of a company.
Yeah.
Okay, they take that soup, and they want to
Cook it in
heat
the
it
water.
up. So what do? When the stewardess comes around giving out coffee, so they ask the stewardess,
For the hot water.
could you put the hot water into my cup? And that's not the right thing to do.
Does
Because
she
the
cook?
kelim are treat for them. They were washed over there. Maybe it's not the binyan, but it's already a shayla about the kelim. What you have to do, you have to ask the stewardess to go to the sink where they have a spout, and they give you hot water straight from the spout. And then it's okay, because then it's water that's in a tank, and it comes out of the spout.
If the stewardess tells you this can is only used for water, you can trust her?
No, because they serve other things also, and it's washed. I don't know how it's washed. Now he says, Simcha Shivcha Goya v'Beis Yisrael Hamavashalas b'Shvil HaYisraelim. Here is a big problem. In many houses, people have a maid, and they have a living maid, and the maid, mamash runs the house, and the balbos and the balbosta are not there a whole day. They come, they go away in the morning, and the guy prepares the meals for them. You know, she prepares. She's like a part of the household. She lives with. She's a living. So he says that shivcha goya b'beis Yisrael, a goyish shivcha in a Jewish home, hamavashalas b'shvil Yisraelim, that cooks for the Jews. She prepares the meals. Noigel v'hakel, v'mekel. Now what's the pshat of that? There are homes where the goya cooks, and the husband and the wife go away in the morning to their company or what, and they don't come back a whole day. They rely on one thing. They rely on that the stove has a pilot. And being that we explained before that according to the Ramah, putting in a splinter of wood is okay, not according to Beis Yosef. Marshal, Sfardische family wouldn't be able to rely on that. But an Ashkenaz family that goes according to the Ramah could rely on that. So when the Goya is cooking, she basically is taking Eish Me'esh, because I explained the pilot, you turn on, it draws fire into the burner. He's saying, most of the time, someone from the house is home. You don't leave a goya a whole day in your house all alone. That was sort of accepted. Today, unfortunately, it's different. People have a maid, a goyan, and she's involved. She runs the whole household. She raises the children and everything. So he's saying that shifcha goya b'beis Yisrael, if there's a goya shifcha in a Jewish home, hamavashalas b'shvil Yisraelim, and she cooks for her Jewish owners. Nahagim v'hakel is memekel memnei she'i efsha shaloi yichata echa memnei habayis ba'esh. They didn't have what I told you, a burner with a pilot. Today it's a problem because today modern stoves don't have pilots already anymore. So it's a problem. But you could, but he said someone is usually home with the goya. So the balbosta, even when the shifcha is cooking, the balbosta walks over, takes a look at the pot, picks up the cover, adjusts the fire. So maybe it doesn't have so much the issa of Bishul Akum. What happens if she's cooking for herself? So then, then the balbosa is not going to go go look at what she's cooking. That's first what's about us to care about it. Ve'efshe delay mahani b'zeh chitu. The Gora me'ilu mivashelis b'shvil Yisrael. Because over here, when she's cooking for Yisrael, so the Yisraelis, one of the Yisraelim will go get involved in it also. But over here, they wouldn't get involved at all. V'lachen in bishla dvarim sheyesh bahem mishum bishulei goyim. If she's cooking something which goes into the category of bishul akum, loy levad hatavshul asa. Not only is it tavshul asa, elo gam hakaira nesra v'vashul bo l'chatchila. A keli that was used for bishul akum, l'chatchila, you shouldn't use it. You have to kasher it. Ubediavad yasa shalus chochem, if you have to kasher it or not. But other than that, it's a big shaila. In other words, he's saying. There's also by bishul akum, by pas palta, we learned that if what Moshe, let's say, the yid improves the product, so then it's not considered. So there's a shaila that they once asked someone that was in jail, asked that over shaila that they give them bread, and the bread is not pas yisrael, it's pas palta. And this was a yid that was a nizer in pas yisrael. What should he do? So the Rav gave him an eitzah to what not everybody agrees. I mean, not everyone agrees to this, but the Rav gave him an eitzah. What he should do is he should toast it. And once he toasts it, so it's like he's mishabeach, he's making it a better quality to eat. And remember, it wouldn't others say it doesn't help because it's a davar also. You can't make from a davar also davar muta. Bishloima by Pesach we have a din that you can't eat sli the first night of Pesach. So what happens if someone made a mistake, okay, and made sli? What should they do? They have guests. What should they do? State not the Rebbe Shulchan Aruch that you can cook it afterwards. Yesh bishul achat tzli. So if there's bishul achat tzli, there's also tzli achat bishul. So why do some hold that it's not good? The answer is very simple. By Pesach, the product is not also if it's tzli. Just we don't eat tzli on Pesach. Once you make bishul, so remember you're not eating something that's tzli, you're eating something that's mevushal. Over here the problem is that we're not allowed to eat pas palta. If it was pas palta, so it became also. You can't make it also by roasting it. That's why some hold that it's good because it's shabeach or b'diavad, like someone that's in jail or what, and some hold that it's not good. You can't take away the issa that it had from being a pas of a guy.
Sam de Sache, wohl prägen wir, wo du da wohnt.